Hey guys, Blended as here and welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be split into three parts. The first part I'm going to be teaching you how you can download and set up an HDRI. In the second part, I'm going to be teaching you how you can make your objects look more realistic and place them inside the HDRI that you have downloaded. So you can achieve photorealism using that. And in the third part, I'm going to be teaching you how you can customize your HDRI and how you can change the scale and the colors of your HDRI to your own liking. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start with this setup out here. I have a sphere and I have a light. So if we want to see what this looks like in the rendered view, I'm going to switch to rendered view and I'm on cycles right now, by the way. So we can see that this is how it looks. So this lit area on the sphere is due to the influence of this light. But however, what if I want a particular light setup and I don't really want to set up lights all around my sphere to obtain that. So what I could do is I could add an HDRI. Now to add an HDRI, you could go on to Chrome or whatever web browser you're using and go to polyhaven.com. So polyhaven.com, it's an online site where you can get free HDRIs for free. So you could go over there and download thousands of HDRIs out there. So you can just download one, whichever you like, and come back to Blender. So I have few downloaded already. So now how do we add a HDRI file? So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this light. So as you can see, once you delete the light, since there is no other light in the background, it becomes completely dark. So I'm just going to go and add an HDRI. So I'll go on to shading. Once I go to shading, I switch from object to world. Now once you switch from object to world, you're going to see this background. You want to go ahead and delete that background. Press X, delete it. Press Shift plus A, add a texture, environment texture, and place that here. Now you want to connect color to surface and you're almost done. Now all you have to do is add the HDRI file. So you press open and you go to wherever you have saved your HDRI file and open whichever one you want. So I have a couple of them out here. I'm just going to open this one and let's see the lighting. So as we have seen, we have removed the light out here, but we can't really see any change. That's because we're still in the viewport. We're still in this viewport. We want to go on to the rendered viewport. So I'm just going to switch to the rendered viewport. And as we can see, now our background has its own lighting. So I've removed the light that I had placed here, and all this light that you're seeing is all coming from the background. So to make it more clear, I can just add a material to this and make it a bit shiny. And as you can see, if you look closely, you can see the reflections from this from the surroundings. You can see the reflections from the surroundings clearly. I'm just going to shade the smooth. Yeah, that looks better. So now if you can see, we can actually see the reflections from the HDRI that we have downloaded. So suppose we want to change, or suppose we don't like this lighting that this HDRI provides and we want to change it. So I can just click X out there and then you're going to see this big screen pop up, and don't worry, that's pretty normal. So you're going to open another HDRI file. So I go to HDRIs and how about this one? So it's going to update the lighting of the scene, and if you can see, this is a new lighting that this provides. So this is a bit brighter, I feel, and it's your choice. If you like this HDRI, you can go ahead with it. So that's all for adding the HDRI. Okay, so here we have a more complex object. So I've modeled a car to which I'm going to be adding an HDRI. So as you can see, I've already added an HDRI. So I'm just going to be moving to the rendered view to see what this looks like with the HDRI in the background. So as you can see, it's going to update all the lights and the scene and everything, and soon we're going to see what this car looks like with the HDRI in the background. So we're just going to wait for a second. Okay, so it's loaded up, and right now this is how it looks with the HDRI in the background. So usually when you add an HDRI in the background, you want to try to fit the object that you have with the background. So in no case does this really look realistic. So even if I zoom in and try to move it around, you can see that it doesn't really look realistic, and the reason is there are no shadows. In a realistic image, there are always shadows. And the reason why there's no shadow is because the object is literally floating midair. So if you want to remove this effect, and this is something which I really had a problem with when I started using HDRIs. So you see that the object is just floating in the middle of your HDRI, like it doesn't really look realistic. So what we do in this case is we go out to the layout and we add a plane. Okay, so we're going to add a plane below the object. I'm just going to move that down. I'm going to scale it up, and I'm going to try to align it or touch it to the tires. I'm just going to move it up just about there. Yeah, just a bit more down. Yep, about there. This should do, or a bit more. Yeah, that should do. So now what we're going to do with this plane is we go on to the material object properties. We go on to the object properties and we go down to visibility. So I've already opened it here. So under visibility, and this only works in cycles, so make sure that you have cycles turned on. So you go to object properties and you go down to visibility. Under visibility, you'll see shadow catcher. So you want to turn that on for the plane. Okay, so you select the plane and you turn on shadow catcher. So now if I go on to rendered view, you're going to see that we have a shadow for this object which is caused from the light, which is caused by the light from the HDRI. Okay, let it just load up. So as you can see, now it appears that the object is placed on the ground, and no matter how we move it, the object will still be placed on the ground. As long as this plane is pretty close to the ground, the object will be close to the ground. And as you can see, we have the shadows from the lights from the HDRI. So this looks much more realistic. And now if I just turn it around a bit, you can see that there are shadows down here. So this is what we're trying to achieve. Okay, so till now we have talked about how you can download an HDRI and add it to your blend file, and we have also talked about how you can make your object look more realistic in the HDRI file by adding the shadow catcher. So now in this part we're going to talk about how you can customize the HDRI that you have downloaded. So down here, if you go to world, in the shading option, if you go down to world, you get these nodes out here. So using these nodes you can customize the HDRI. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the strength of the background. So if you see this background node out here, you're going to see this option for strength. So what the strength is going to do is it's going to increase or decrease the intensity of the HDRI that you have downloaded. So if I go ahead and increase that to about 4 or 5, so you're going to see that soon, once the lights are updated, the intensity of the light of the HDRI or the intensity of the HDRI itself is going to increase. So that's what the strength is going to control. So if you want to customize that for any reason, you could do that. So I could also decrease it, make that below 1. How about 0.7? So this is going to decrease the intensity a bit more than what we had previously. So that's how you can decrease or increase the strength of the HDRI that you have. Now for the next, you're going to need an add-on called the Node Wrangler add-on. So if you go to edit, so out here in edit, there'll be an option for preferences. So you go to preferences, and once you click on that, there'll be an option for add-ons. So in add-ons, you're going to search. You go to the search bar and you search for node, and you're going to get an option for node wrangler. So uh, you select that, and once you have that add-on, you can come back and you can come back to the step. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select this node out here, and once you have the node wrangler add-on, we can press Ctrl plus T. So once we press Ctrl plus T, we get these two extra nodes called mapping and texture coordinate. So right now we don't have to worry about texture coordinate, we only need to worry about the mapping node. So the mapping node is basically going to control the location, the scale, and the rotation of HDRI. So usually we don't play around with the location and the scale. At least I haven't played around with it till now. I'm sure you can try that out. But what I do play around with is the rotation of the HDRI. So I'm just going to explain that real quick. So usually when you go to rotate the object in the HDRI, suppose we want to see the back side or the side view profile of this car, and we just rotate the car a little bit. We can see that along with the car, even the HDRI is going to rotate. But usually we don't want that. We want the car to stay in this position, but only rotate the car. So I'm just going to go ahead and rotate this car a bit. Turn that. Yeah, that's about it. So now I have the side profile of the car. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to rotate the HDRI and place the car wherever I want. So what I've done is, I've selected the direction of the car which I want to see. But the location on the HDRI map is not where I want it to be. So I'm just going to place it by rotating the HDRI file or the HDRI itself. I'm going to place the car in the position where I want it to be. So we have more control in this way. So now as you can see, we have the side profile of the car, and we also have the location where we want the car to be placed in the HDRI. So if I just place it a little bit down, yeah, that's about it. So let me just explain real quick why I did that. So as I said before, when we try to rotate this model, the HDRI also rotates along with the model, as you can see. So that's the reason why I rotated the car to the direction in which I wanted to see it, and then I rotated the HDRI so that I can place the car in the position where I want it on the HDRI. So in that way you can use these mapping tools that you have. Okay, so now you know how you can change the strength of the HDRI or the location and the rotation of the HDRI. But how about if you want to change the HDRI itself? How about you want to change the colors of the HDRI or the intensity of the lights of the HDRI along with the colors? So to do that, you go on to the render properties and you go down to color management. So this is available only if you're on cycles. So once you go down to color management, out here in this area you can change the actual colors that the HDRI has. So let me just give you an example. So right now the gamma is already pretty low, but if I decrease that a bit more, you're going to see that everything starts to become a bit darker. The lights in the HDRI start to become a bit dimmer and the colors become a bit darker. And let me just increase the exposure. So I'm not really an expert in all of this, but if you are and if you know what you're doing, you could play around with this till you get something you like. So I just keep increasing and decreasing this till I find some color which I like. So I find that the darker colors look pretty good, and usually what I've heard is you decrease the gamma and you increase the exposure, but you can do what you like. You can also change the view transform. So right now it's on filmic. So if I make that raw, you can see that you get some different colors. This looks pretty cool, but it doesn't look really realistic. You could also change it to false color. So you can play around. So you can change and play around with the colors out here in this section of the render properties. That's it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe. It'll really help me and motivate me to come out with new videos. And that's it for today, and see you guys in the next one.